Welcome back to Ignite. And if you missed that last episode, you really need to go back and listen to it. Elena really gave us some great input. I am so happy to welcome my next guest. This is Jessica Summers. She is a cognitive behavioral therapist, and she's going to get into talking to us about something that is near and dear to my heart. We talk about leadership, but understanding leadership from being aware of our own self wellness and care. And she's going to share her story and tell us a little bit about that. Welcome, Jessica.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. So glad
I'm,
to be here.
and I'm so happy you're here. So, as we get started, in order to set a little bit of the foundation, I would love for you to share a little bit of your story about understanding your own health and self care.
So, you want me to dig in there and how I got involved in this down to the nitty gritty? So, yeah, I mean, this is why I do what I do because I didn't know what I didn't know until I came crashing down. And I mean, you know my full story. I'll give you a little tidbit of it, but life showed up after my second pregnancy, complications. They left some placenta behind, and that was the beginning of the end.
Mm.
I was going to the doctor, doing all the right things, but it was one thing after another. And what I know now is I got caught in the trap of if I'm going to the doctor and doing all the right things, then I can still push and do all the things that I'm accustomed to. But bad idea. Bad idea. Because I didn't see how I started to get sucked in mentally, emotionally, spiritually. It Everything started feeding off of each other. And when you're in it, it is very difficult to see how far in it you are. So days turned into weeks, turned into months, turned into years of one infection after another. I had an overgrowth of bacteria from too many antibiotics. So I would be given more antibiotics. And that, what I know about antibiotics now, I mean, just that alone was I, I mean, my stomach, I was in pain every day.
Mhm.
And then I had, other complications, ruptured ovarian cysts and hiatal hernia, and just one thing after another. So when those things happen, you don't realize that you start to question yourself.
Mhm.
What am I doing?
Mhm.
What am I doing wrong?
Mhm.
How come I can't show up as a wife, as a mother, as a business owner? Back then I was a fashion designer and I owned a boutique,
Mhm.
and I'm doing the stuff, trying to show up, and the old me and my old way of being was push your way through. And I didn't even know I was doing it
Mhm.
until it was, I mean, way too late. Addiction to my doctor prescribed pain pills, went to street drugs, kind of gave up at the same time I was trying to get help. But you lose yourself. You're not even the person that you know yourself to be. Where in all of that do you lose yourself until you are aware? My
When did you become
awareness,
aware? When did you become aware of this? How did this happen?
my awareness came after I crashed and burned and lost everything. I mean, I ended up homeless with nothing. I mean, it just one thing after another. I had I I will say, in all honesty, I think I did this intentionally, cause myself to have a psychotic break. I was so lost and distraught and questioning my own questioning. Like I didn't understand that I didn't understand.
Mhm.
which didn't, you're in a place that, I mean, it was spiritual warfare.
Okay.
It was a darkness and a place I would not wish on my worst enemy. And when you are reaching out for help and you look okay on the outside,
Mhm.
good luck trying to advocate for yourself. I mean, I
Let's
was in a,
talk a little bit about that, Jessica. And first of all, I want to thank you for being on the show and your transparency and sharing your story, because I
yeah,
think there's so many components here of what you're
yeah.
saying. First of all, I want to understand, did you know you were addicted? How did you figure out you were addicted and there was a problem there to begin with?
Right. So initially, the I had went to my I asked my husband to come with me. I said, come to my I had new doctor because we had moved too. So I had to kind of start a whole new process over with new doctors and
Hmm.
specialists. So someplace in there, you're and I didn't know this. I was prescribed them to take on a as need basis, and I would wait till the very last minute until I was like buckled over in pain because I'm still showing up where I need to show up. So
Hmm.
I'd be gobbling them down, trying to almost like catch up.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that, I had become, and I didn't know it, habituated. And this is how I found out. I
Um,
asked my husband, come to my new doctor. I tell him what's been going on. And very matter of fact, he says, oh, yeah, you're habituated. I mean, that's just a nice way of saying you're addicted to drugs, you know? So I said, oh, okay, now what? You know? So he had also at that time now had said that I had fibromyalgia. He was going to put me on a medication for, I was still dealing with a hiatal hernia. I was on medication for that. We were going through antidepressants because I was big time depressed.
mhm.
Um, and I don't even know all the different kinds of combinations of medications. We're going to wean you off this, we're going to put you on that. And I was expected really to do it on my own with the help of my husband, which lasted one day. And the conversations were get it together. And when you're, I don't even know how to, I already felt terrible that I wasn't the person that I knew myself to be.
Mhm.
The conversations and the way I'm being spoken to, I'm shrinking, shrinking, shrinking. I get to a point to where am I even worth the
Mhm.
work? Because now I have these labels. I know these labels too. They're the same labels that I've heard growing up, like this is right, this is good, this is bad. If you do these things, this is who you are. So now I am this person. This is who I'm thinking I am too. Because every time I try to stop taking them, because I don't know addiction.
Mhm.
Yes, in my 20s, I partied like a rock star. If there's drugs around, I mean, not hardcore drugs, but if there were drugs around, maybe I did, maybe I didn't, and
Mhm.
went on with my life.
Mhm.
There is a big difference between making choices and addiction.
Mhm.
So here I am trying to stop, but I don't know the difference anymore between what is addiction, what is in my control, what are my actual physical pains that started from the beginning, because there are a lot of similarities in withdrawal that nobody told me about.
Mhm.
It, I mean, it took for me to crash and burn and lose everything to start to do the work myself, to have the education around all of these symptoms, what like addiction and the brain on addiction and all of these things. It took all of that to finally get the help that I needed, because there was no conversation other than get it together.
So, you said that, you were with your family and you were a wife and a mother. You said your husband helping you only lasted one day. How how were you able to deal with your kids? I know that there's a lot of challenges when it comes to addiction and having children and all of that. And that adds to all of the emotional instability. You're supposed to be looked up as a leader. Your mom, you're, the one doing it. Can you talk to the listeners a little bit about that?
That part was the part that almost killed me. The shame and the guilt around knowing that you are the reason, the cause and effect to everything that is going on. The very thing that you're fighting to protect is killing you at the same time. It is a horrible place to find yourself in, especially when not only was I mean, kind of mentally abusing myself, like, what is your problem? You
Mhm.
say you don't want to be doing this, then why are you?
Mhm.
But again, it took me to come so far removed from it to know that when you're in it, you need help, you
Mhm.
need guidance. And for me, I really did have the physical ails. I
Mhm.
was in pain. I
Mhm.
was dealing with the mental health part of it. So I had all of it. I
Mhm.
mean, it is a hell I would not wish on anyone. And of, uh, it's not just happening to you, it is happening to your children.
We're going to take a station break. And when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about how we overcome this once you acknowledge it, at the point you acknowledged it. And even when you hit rock bottom, being able to come out of rock bottom, what are those solutions and things that you can offer the audience? We're going to take a station break. We'll be right back.